Once upon a time, in a charming countryside, there lived 3 little pigs. The first pig, named Oliver, was a diligent and hard-working fellow. The second pig, named Bella, was quite adventurous and loved exploring. And the third pig, named Max, was a clever and resourceful little creature. One sunny morning, the 3 little pigs decided it was time to build their own homes. Oliver chose to build his house out of straw, as it was quick and easy. Bella opted for a slightly sturdier house made of sticks, while Max decided to build his house with strong bricks, knowing that it would provide the best protection. Little did they know that a mischievous and cunning wolf named Winston was lurking nearby, eager to have a tasty piglet feast. As soon as he heard about the 3 little pigs' new homes, he began devising a plan to get his paws on a delicious meal. The wolf approached Oliver's straw house first and called out in a friendly voice, little pig, let me come in." Oliver, being wise, peeked out from the window and saw the big bad wolf. He knew better than to trust him and replied, No, not by the hair on my chinny chin. Winston, growing frustrated, huffed and puffed and blew down Oliver's straw house in an instant. But Oliver was quick on his feet and darted off to Bella's stick house. The wolf chased after him, determined to catch at least one pig. At Bella's house, Winston repeated his request. Little pig, let me come in." Bella was a bit braver, but still cautious. She replied, No, not by the hair on my chinny chin. The wolf, determined to have a feast, huffed and puffed again, this time blowing down the stick house with ease. Oliver and Bella ran as fast as they could to Max's sturdy brick house. As the wolf approached, he called out, Little pig, let me come in." Max, being the clever pig he was, responded, No, not by the hair on my chinny chin. The wolf was livid and decided to use all his might to blow down the brick house. He huffed and puffed and huffed some more, but the house stood firm. No matter how hard he tried, the wolf couldn't break through the strong bricks. Defeated, Winston gave up and slinked away, realizing he couldn't outsmart the 3 little pigs. Oliver, Bella, and Max celebrated their victory and became even closer friends through their shared adventure. From that day forward, the 3 little pigs lived happily and safely in their cozy brick house. They realized the importance of hard work, cleverness, and sticking together during challenging times. And as for the wolf, he learned that it's not wise to underestimate the power of determination and resilience. And so, their tale of bravery and wit spread throughout the countryside, reminding everyone that with the right mindset, even the most cunning of foes can be overcome.
Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a little boy named Alex. Alex was a curious and imaginative child who loved to go on adventures in his dreams. Every night, before going to bed, his mother would tell him a special bedtime story that would transport him to a magical world of fun and excitement. Tonight was no different. As Alex snuggled into his cozy bed, his mother sat beside him and began to weave a tale of wonder. She told him about a magical fun ride that only happened in the dreamland, where anything was possible. In the dreamland, Alex, his mother whispered, there is a place called Joyville. It's a town filled with laughter, happiness, and the most incredible rides you can imagine. Eyes wide with anticipation, Alex listened intently as his mother continued. Every night, when the clock strikes midnight, a special train called the Dream Express arrives at Joyville. It's a train like no other, with carriages that can change into whatever you desire. Wow, that sounds amazing, Alex exclaimed, his imagination running wild. It is, my dear, his mother smiled. And the best part is that you get to be the conductor of this magical train. You can choose the destinations, the kind of ride you want, and even the friends who join you on this adventure. Alex's face lit up with excitement as he imagined himself in the conductor's hat, ready to explore Joyville and its incredible rides. His mother continued, once you step aboard the Dream Express, it takes off into the night sky, guided by the glow of 1,000 stars. The train rides on the magic tracks that twist and turn, defying gravity and taking you to the most enchanting places. Alex's mind filled with images of roller coasters that loop through clouds, water slides that flowed down rainbow waterfalls, and carousels that spun with magical creatures. His mother's storytelling painted a vivid picture of a world where dreams come true. "Remember, Alex," his mother said softly, "the magic of the Dream Express is not just in the rides but also in the joy and laughter shared with your friends. The more laughter, the brighter the colors, and the more incredible the adventures become." Alex nodded, understanding the importance of friendship and happiness. He imagined his best friends, Sarah and Ben, joining him on the Dream Express. They would laugh together, hold hands, and go on thrilling rides that would make their hearts race with excitement. As his mother finished the story, she kissed Alex goodnight and wished him sweet dreams. "Remember, my dear, the Dream Express is always ready for you in the land of dreams. Just close your eyes, believe in the magic, and let your imagination take flight." With a contented smile on his face, Alex closed his eyes, ready to embark on a journey to Joyville aboard the Dream Express. He drifted off to sleep, his mind filled with visions of laughter, friendship, and the most incredible rides he could ever imagine. And so, as the moon shone down, Alex's dreams came alive, and he embarked on the magical fun ride of a lifetime, with the Dream Express leading the way into a world of enchantment and joy. The end.
Once upon a time, in the prosperous kingdom of Viridia, there ruled a king named Alistair. To the outside world, King Alistair appeared regal and wise, but behind closed doors, he was a ruler plagued by a dark heart and selfish ambitions. He had ascended the throne after the untimely demise of his father, King Roland, who had been a beloved and just leader. King Alistair, consumed by his desire for power and control, soon began to enact oppressive policies upon his subjects. He imposed exorbitant taxes on the common people, burdening them with unbearable financial strains. The once thriving marketplaces grew desolate as poverty swept through the kingdom, leaving the citizens in a state of despair. Alistair's cruelty extended beyond economic exploitation. He showed no regard for the welfare of his people, neglecting the basic needs of the impoverished. Their pleas for assistance fell on deaf ears as the king surrounded himself with a corrupt council, who only sought to further their own wealth and influence. As the years passed, the kingdom of Viridia deteriorated under Alistair's rule. The once vibrant streets echoed with cries of misery and desperation. The people's spirits were crushed, their hope waning, and their faith in their ruler shattered. News of the king's tyranny reached neighboring kingdoms, and emissaries from faraway lands began to discuss the dark reign of King Alistair. They formed alliances, preparing for a possible intervention to save the suffering citizens of Viridia. Alistair, however, was not oblivious to these rumblings. He knew his time as king was limited, and he became increasingly paranoid and reclusive. In a final act of defiance, a group of brave individuals within Viridia decided to take a stand against their wicked ruler. Led by a charismatic young woman named Elena, they organized a resistance movement determined to overthrow the oppressive regime. They distributed pamphlets, rallying the people to join their cause and reclaim their freedom. Despite the risks, the resistance grew in numbers, uniting people from all walks of life. They planned secret meetings, strategized, and prepared for the inevitable confrontation with the king's forces. The kingdom's underground network flourished as they gathered intelligence and sought support from sympathizers both within and outside Viridia. The day of reckoning arrived. The people of Viridia, armed with a newfound sense of purpose, took to the streets in a massive uprising. They demanded justice and the removal of their tyrannical ruler. King Alistair, now confronted with the collective fury of his subjects, trembled in fear within the walls of his castle. The battle was fierce and relentless, but the people's determination prevailed. The resistance fought valiantly, ultimately breaching the castle gates and overpowering the king's remaining loyalists. In a climactic confrontation, Elena stood before Alistair, his once mighty facade crumbling before her eyes. With a mixture of anger and sorrow, Elena pronounced judgment upon the fallen king. Alistair, stripped of his crown, was banished from Viridia forever, never to be seen or heard from again. The kingdom rejoiced as the dark cloud of Alistair's reign lifted, replaced by the hope of a brighter future. The story of King Alistair serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the destructive power of greed and corruption. It teaches us that even the mightiest of rulers can be toppled by the collective will and unwavering determination of the people. Viridia, once again free from the clutches of tyranny, could now rebuild and flourish under a new era of compassionate and just leadership.
Once upon a time, in a small village nestled by a serene lake, there lived a young man named Ethan. He possessed an unwavering belief in the power of magic and had an incredible ability to run on water. News of his extraordinary talent quickly spread throughout the village and beyond. People from far and wide came to witness Ethan's remarkable gift. They marveled at his graceful steps, as if he were dancing on the water's surface. It was truly a sight to behold. As word of his ability spread, it attracted the attention of a wealthy merchant named Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris was a shrewd businessman who sought to exploit Ethan's talent for his own financial gain. He approached the young man with a tempting offer, proposing to organize a grand event where Ethan would run across the lake, charging spectators a hefty fee to witness the spectacle. Lured by the prospect of fame and fortune, Ethan agreed. The news of the upcoming event created a buzz throughout the region. People eagerly awaited the day when they could witness the incredible feat of a man running on water. However, not everyone was thrilled about the event. Among the concerned individuals was an old wise woman named Clara. Clara had always been a voice of reason and moral guidance in the village. She felt that Ethan's gift should be treasured for its inherent beauty, rather than used for personal gain. Concerned for Ethan's well-being and the potential consequences of exploiting his talent, she decided to talk to him. One peaceful evening, Clara paid a visit to Ethan by the lake. Sitting together on the shore, she began sharing her thoughts with him. She spoke of the importance of using one's gifts for the betterment of others rather than for personal glory. Clara reminded Ethan that his magical ability had the potential to inspire people, encourage them to believe in the extraordinary, and motivate them to discover their own unique talents. Ethan listened intently to Clara's wise words. Her counsel resonated deeply within him, stirring a sense of purpose and compassion. He realized that he could use his extraordinary ability to spread joy, hope, and unity among the villagers, instead of merely satisfying their curiosity. The day of the grand event arrived, and a crowd gathered by the lake's edge. As Ethan stood on the water's surface, ready to begin his run, he made a decision that would change the course of events. He addressed the audience, expressing his gratitude for their support and explaining his change of heart. Ethan declared that instead of charging a fee, he would run on water as a symbol of unity, asking each spectator to perform a random act of kindness in return. The crowd was taken aback by Ethan's selflessness and the moral lesson he had imparted. Inspired by his words, people began sharing their acts of kindness with one another, planting seeds of compassion that would grow and flourish in the village. Ethan's run on water became a symbol of hope, reminding everyone that true magic lies in selfless acts and the power of unity. From that day forward, the village thrived on the principles of empathy and generosity, creating a harmonious community where everyone's unique abilities were celebrated and used for the greater good. And so, the tale of the magical man running on water taught a valuable lesson: that the true magic in life lies not in personal gain or fame, but in using our gifts to inspire and uplift others, fostering a world where kindness and unity prevail.
Once upon a time in the kingdom of Enchantia, there lived a kind-hearted princess named Amelia. Princess Amelia had a deep love for adventure and learning, and she often explored the vast lands surrounding the royal castle. One sunny day, while wandering through a magical forest, she stumbled upon a peculiar sight: a small cottage nestled amidst the trees. Curiosity piqued, Princess Amelia approached the cottage and gently knocked on the door. To her surprise, a friendly old woman with twinkling eyes answered. The woman introduced herself as Mrs. Matilda, the wise sage of the forest. Delighted to meet such a renowned figure, the princess asked if she could hear a story. Mrs. Matilda smiled warmly and invited her inside. As they settled in, Mrs. Matilda shared a tale known as The Princess and the Salt. It began with another princess, Princess Isabella, who lived far away in a distant kingdom. Princess Isabella was known for her love of food, especially for its flavors. She adored every dish she tasted but had never experienced the taste of salt. One day, as Princess Isabella roamed the market, a traveling merchant caught her attention. The merchant had an array of exotic spices and seasonings, including a small pouch of magical salt. He claimed that this salt would enhance the flavors of any dish it touched. Intrigued, the princess purchased the pouch and returned to the palace. With great excitement, Princess Isabella summoned the royal chef and instructed him to prepare a grand feast using the magical salt. As the feast began, the princess eagerly tasted the dishes. To her amazement, each bite burst with extraordinary flavors. The magical salt had transformed the ordinary food into an extraordinary culinary experience. Word of the feast spread throughout the kingdom, and soon people from far and wide flocked to taste the princess's enchanted dishes. The palace became a haven for food lovers, and Princess Isabella reveled in sharing the joy of her newfound passion. However, as time passed, the princess's focus on flavors began to overshadow everything else. She neglected her royal duties and spent most of her time in the kitchen experimenting with recipes. The palace, once filled with laughter and merriment, grew quiet and dull. One day, a wise old sage visited the kingdom and sensed the princess's predicament. He approached Princess Isabella and presented her with a riddle. What is the most precious ingredient that enriches not only food but also life itself? He asked. Perplexed, the princess pondered the riddle for days. She tried various answers but none satisfied the sage. Finally, in a moment of clarity, Princess Isabella realized the answer. It was love. Love was the most precious ingredient that enhanced not only food but also every aspect of life. With a newfound understanding, Princess Isabella changed her ways. She continued to enjoy food and flavors but learned to balance her passions with her responsibilities. The palace once again brimmed with laughter, and the princess regained the joy of sharing her culinary creations with others. As Mrs. Matilda finished the story, Princess Amelia couldn't help but reflect on its deeper meaning. She thanked Mrs. Matilda for the wonderful tale and the valuable lesson it held. With a heart full of gratitude, Princess Amelia bid farewell to the wise sage and returned to the castle, eager to apply the lessons of the princess and the salt in her own life. From that day forward, Princess Amelia became known for her wisdom and kindness. She shared the story of the princess and the salt with children throughout the kingdom, teaching them the importance of balance and love in all endeavors. And so, the tale of Princess Isabella and her magical salt lived on as a timeless reminder of life's truest treasures.
Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a young boy named Alex. Alex was known for his honesty and integrity. He believed that lying was a terrible thing to do and vowed to never tell a lie, no matter what the circumstances. One day, a traveling circus arrived in the village. The circus was known for its magnificent performances and incredible acts. Excitement spread through the village, and people flocked to witness the spectacle. As Alex approached the circus grounds, he noticed a long line of people waiting to buy tickets. He stood patiently, waiting for his turn. Suddenly, a mischievous thought crossed his mind. He wondered if he could bypass the line and sneak into the circus without a ticket. However, he quickly dismissed the idea, reminding himself of his pledge to never tell a lie. Finally, it was Alex's turn to purchase a ticket. As he approached the ticket booth, he noticed that the ticket seller seemed distracted. The seller handed him a ticket without collecting any money and turned away, engrossed in a conversation with someone else. Alex realized that he could easily walk away without paying and enjoy the circus for free. However, his principles held firm, and he called out to the ticket seller saying, "Excuse me, sir, I think you forgot to take the payment for the ticket." The ticket seller was taken aback by Alex's honesty. He thanked him for his integrity and accepted the payment. The people around who had overheard the conversation applauded Alex for his honesty. News of Alex's act spread throughout the village, and he became a symbol of honesty and trustworthiness. people looked up to him and sought his advice whenever they were faced with difficult choices. As the years passed, Alex grew older, and his reputation for honesty never wavered. He became a respected figure in the community and was often approached for leadership roles. One day, a neighboring village faced a crisis. Their leader had been caught in a web of lies and deceit, causing chaos and distrust among the villagers. They heard of Alex's reputation and reached out, asking for his guidance. Alex traveled to the neighboring village and patiently listened to the concerns of the villagers. He understood that the foundation of any society lies in trust and honesty. He advised the villagers to embrace truthfulness and lead a life free of deceit. Inspired by Alex's words and reputation, the neighboring village underwent a transformation. The villagers learned the importance of honesty and integrity, and the community thrived as trust was rebuilt. From that day forward, the story of Alex, the boy who never told a lie, was passed down from generation to generation. His unwavering commitment to honesty served as a reminder to always choose truthfulness and integrity, no matter the circumstances. And so, the village lived by the motto, "Never tell a lie," cherishing the values that Alex had exemplified throughout his life. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a hungry monster named Grumble. Grumble was unlike any other monster in the realm. While most monsters terrified the villagers and caused chaos, Grumble had a unique problem. He was always hungry. No matter how much he ate, his hunger never seemed to subside. Grumble had a big round belly and enormous sharp teeth, perfect for devouring anything that came his way. But despite his formidable appearance, Grumble was a gentle creature at heart. He had tried to control his hunger, but it seemed impossible. One sunny morning, Grumble woke up with an even stronger rumble in his belly. He looked around and realized he had eaten everything in his cave: trees, rocks, and even his collection of shiny pebbles. Desperate for food, he decided to venture into the nearby village. As Grumble approached the village, the people panicked. They had heard stories about the monstrous creature with an insatiable appetite. Villagers locked their doors and hid in fear. But Grumble meant no harm. He just wanted to find something to eat. He lumbered through the village streets, his growling belly echoing off the houses. Suddenly, a little girl named Lily emerged from her hiding spot and approached Grumble cautiously. She was brave and curious, not easily frightened like the others. "Hello, Mr. Grumble," Lily said, her voice trembling slightly. "Are you hungry?" Grumble nodded, his large eyes filled with sadness. Lily's heart went out to the hungry monster. She remembered her grandmother's stories about magical fruits that could satisfy any hunger. Determined to help Grumble, she led him to the village's ancient orchard, said to be filled with mystical fruits. The orchard was a sight to behold. Trees bearing colorful and exotic fruits filled the air with their sweet aroma. Grumble's eyes widened with anticipation. Lily searched through the orchard until she found the largest fruit she had ever seen. It was vibrant orange with golden stripes and emitted a tantalizing scent. She handed it to Grumble. As Grumble took a bite, a wave of warmth spread throughout his body. His hunger began to diminish for the first time in ages. He devoured the entire fruit, feeling satisfied and content. Lily and Grumble spent the day exploring the orchard together, finding and sampling different magical fruits. Grumble's hunger slowly faded away, and he realized that the secret to satisfaction wasn't just in eating, but in sharing moments with a friend. From that day forward, Grumble visited the village regularly, always accompanied by Lily. The villagers soon discovered that he wasn't a terrifying monster, but a gentle giant who needed their understanding and compassion. Grumble's presence brought joy and excitement to the village. They started planting more magical fruit trees in the orchard, ensuring that Grumble would never go hungry again. And as the villagers and Grumble shared their meals and stories, their bond grew stronger, proving that even the hungriest of monsters could find happiness when shown kindness and friendship. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled amidst rolling hills and lush greenery, there lived a young boy named Ethan. Ethan was known for his kind heart and gentle nature. He was always eager to help others and believed in the power of goodness. One day, while exploring the outskirts of the village, Ethan stumbled upon a hidden cave. Curiosity got the better of him, and he cautiously entered the dark cavern. As his eyes adjusted to the dim light, he discovered a magnificent golden bell placed on a pedestal in the center of the cave. Enchanted by its beauty, Ethan couldn't resist the urge to touch it. As his hand made contact with the bell, a burst of light filled the cave, and a melodious voice echoed through the air. "Congratulations, young Ethan. You have awakened the moral magic bell. I am the spirit of the bell, and I have chosen you as its guardian. With this bell, you possess the power to inspire kindness and goodness in the hearts of all who hear its chimes." Ethan was both astonished and thrilled by this unexpected revelation. He accepted the responsibility bestowed upon him by the spirit and promised to use the bell wisely. Little did he know that the bell had its own set of rules. The spirit cautioned, "Remember, Ethan, the bell's magic will only work if your intentions are pure and selfless. You must use it to bring happiness and harmony to others, not for personal gain." Ethan nodded in understanding and carried the bell back to his village. News of the moral magic bell quickly spread, and people from far and wide flocked to Ethan's doorstep, seeking its enchanting power. Ethan, however, remained humble and reminded everyone that the bell's magic only worked when used for the greater good. The villagers soon discovered that whenever the bell chimed, a sense of warmth and compassion filled their hearts. Strangers became friends, conflicts were resolved, and acts of kindness flourished. The village transformed into a harmonious and caring community. Ethan would often take the bell to neighboring villages, spreading its magic wherever he went. People marveled at the transformative power of the bell and started embracing kindness in their daily lives. Acts of generosity and empathy became the norm, transcending boundaries and bringing people together. But as time passed, a group of individuals with selfish intentions approached Ethan, longing to possess the bell's magic for their personal gain. They tried to convince him that the bell would be better off in their hands, promising riches and power beyond imagination. Ethan, however, stayed true to his purpose. He understood the dangers of letting the bell fall into the wrong hands. He politely declined their offers, saying, "The magic of the moral magic bell is not meant to serve selfish desires. It exists to remind us of the importance of goodness and selflessness in our lives." Undeterred, the group of individuals resorted to scheming and plotting. They decided to steal the bell during the night, hoping to harness its power for their own ambitions. As they approached Ethan's house, darkness cloaking their intentions, the bell sensed their malice. As soon as they laid their hands on the bell, its enchanting chimes filled the air, awakening the entire village. Ethan, alerted by the commotion, rushed outside to confront the thieves. The bell's magic, fueled by his genuine desire to protect its purity, swirled around him, forming a shield of compassion and integrity. The thieves were struck with an overwhelming feeling of guilt and remorse, their hearts heavy with the weight of their actions. They realized the error of their ways and begged for forgiveness. Ethan, true to his nature, forgave them, reminding them of the potential for goodness within each of them. From that day forward, the moral magic bell continued to bring happiness and harmony to the village and beyond. Ethan carried it with pride, using its magic to inspire kindness, empathy, and selflessness in the hearts of all who heard its chimes. The bell served as a constant reminder that even the smallest acts of goodness can create a world filled with love and compassion. And so, the story of the moral magic bell and the remarkable journey of young Ethan remind us that true magic lies not in power or possessions, but in the selfless kindness that we share with others. Once upon a time in a small village, there lived a young boy named Raj. Raj was known for his cheerful nature and his willingness to help others. He lived with his mother and worked on their modest farm, which provided them with their basic needs. One day, while Raj was working in the fields, he noticed something shiny glimmering in the soil. Curiosity got the better of him, and he dug further, unearthing a small bag of gold coins. Raj's eyes widened with excitement as he held the treasure in his hands. As he stared at the gold, a thought crossed his mind. He knew that he and his mother could live a life of luxury with this newfound wealth. But deep down, Raj knew that honesty was the most important virtue. He decided that the rightful owner of the gold should have it. Raj went to the village square and announced his discovery, hoping that the true owner would come forward. Days passed, and nobody claimed the bag of gold. Raj's mother advised him to keep it for themselves, as they needed the money to improve their lives. However, Raj remained steadfast in his decision to find the rightful owner. News of Raj's honesty soon spread throughout the village. The village elders were impressed by his integrity and decided to reward him. They held a meeting and declared that the gold would be given to Raj, as he had proven himself to be an honest and trustworthy person. But Raj, true to his nature, declined the reward. He insisted that the gold belonged to its rightful owner, and he would continue searching until he found them. The villagers admired his determination and joined him in the search, determined to help him find the owner. After several weeks of inquiry, they finally discovered that the gold belonged to a wealthy merchant who had lost it while passing through the village. The merchant was overjoyed when Raj returned the bag to him. He was deeply grateful and rewarded Raj with a portion of the gold as a token of his appreciation. Raj's honesty and integrity had not only earned him the respect of the villagers, but also brought him financial success. With the reward he received, Raj was able to improve his farm, buy better tools, and expand his business. He and his mother lived a comfortable life, free from worries and full of happiness. The story of Raj's honesty spread far and wide, inspiring others to follow his example. The village became known for its integrity, and its people prospered not just financially, but also morally. The tale of Raj's honesty continued to be shared for generations, reminding everyone that honesty is indeed the best policy. And so, the moral of the story is that honesty is a valuable virtue that brings not only personal fulfillment, but also the respect and admiration of others. It may not always bring immediate rewards, but in the long run, it leads to success and a life filled with contentment.